Hello everybody and welcome back for another Diamond 1 solo queue cast. Here today is Goose the Grey and joining me once again is Elthizar.
Goose, how you doing today?
Um, Kinda tired and my voice isn't at the top of its performance, but I hope it'll last and this should be pretty interesting. Spectating once again off of a Diamond 1 guy, friend of mine. So it should be pretty fun to watch. Where am I putting these people?
You and your connections, Goose.
Right? Isn't it awesome? I actually have to thank other people I was recommended. People were like, oh, here, add this guy to your friends list. He wants to learn casting and needs people to spectate. And all of a sudden, I had all these Diamond 1 and Challenger players adding me to their friends list, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll take it. And now I always have people to spectate. It's awesome. Connections.
I need to maybe get D-Man or something to promote me. And it's like, hey, Challenger guys, add Elthizar on EU West so he can become super awesome caster dude.
Oh yeah, if I had one of the casters do that for me, that would be even better. But right now we do have Renekton.
Yeah, quick shot do it.
Face checking. Say what?
I was saying that's what happened for our fellow caster the Pash. He was promoted, well, sort of promoted by Quickshot, having met him at DreamHack.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I need to go over to the Riot Studios and talk to them, and be like, yo, gimme. I mean, I'm close enough theoretically. Berlin to Cologne is like what, 7 hours? By train?
Jesus.
Something like that. A little less maybe.
See, as a Brit, that's mind-boggling to me. That is actually ridiculous, because most journeys take 3-4 hours at most. Anyway, we see the buffs spawning and the junglers taking their first buffs. Blue buffs taken by both, which means that the blue buff is going to be picked up by Vi slightly quicker, has a slightly enhanced pull by the fact that the AD carry is present, and of course the high damage from an early game Jinx, or rather a Jinx does have relatively high early game damage for an AD carry.
When they're already going very aggressive on Elthizar, the Ignite is down as well. She's running away, the Ignite is still taking on her, but she's kind of out of position. Lucian can just cut her off, and right now she doesn't really know where to go, and here's Lucian putting down the ward and gets another line shot in. Doesn't quite manage to get the double shot, passive proccing. Will he be able to catch onto her? No, he turns around. That's going to be Zyra escaping with her life for the time being.
Yep, no summoners burnt either, so a fairly pedestrian start to the game. Junglers still picking up their buffs, and we actually see Fiddlesticks neglecting to go straight towards his red buff and does go through his right camp first. So, slightly slower clear by Fiddlesticks, which isn't too surprising because early ganks with him aren't that strong.
Well, they put a ward down at his red buff, so he knew that Vi wasn't stealing it away, and he had all the time in the world over there. So he said, okay, I'm just gonna relax, and he has that Doran's ring, so he's pretty powerful, and of course with that drain, he's able to sustain himself quite well, even against the white camp that is generally regarded as... Oh my god! That was a first blood that was unexpected. Nice Ignite, and then the body slam barrel out of Gragas to pick up the first kill here.
Yeah, very well played there. A little bit of poke going down the top lane, but nothing too significant. You're not going to see anything massive really come out of a lane that features Shen and Renekton. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, both of them just gonna bash heads for a while, and we can see Vi was trying to invade onto Fiddlesticks, but she just chose the wrong time. She checked the wolves, she checked the blue buff, nothing there. Then finally goes for the white camp, because she was like, oh, well, there's nothing for me to get here. She did put down a ward as well, so they will have a little bit of vision. Fiddlesticks, however, won't really care. That white camp will have respawned by the time he gets back there. So, after the first 4 minutes, looking across the board, we have a kill in favor of the red team. Gragas with a slight CS lead, of course, because both of them have gone back, and now we have Vi in the top lane looking for the gank. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Zyra going quite low. But that gank in the top lane, Shen just barely managing to dash under the tower. Vi flashed and still got one denting blows in, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, once again, cool-headed play by these players. Of course, they were all Diamond 1s, so we didn't see Gangster Man actually burn his flash there. I know I probably would have panicked flashes.
Wow!
The bottom lane.
That bottom lane was beautiful, completely out of the blue. Shen is going down in the top lane, but first the bottom lane, Fiddlesticks flash ignited, completely caught out Zyra. Now in the mid lane, Fizz is in a lot of trouble again. Gragas almost taking him out. There's a flash out of Gragas, but Fiddlesticks is around. Maybe keeping him safe. The body slam came out. There's the barrel, and now Fiddlesticks is in a whole world of trouble. Gragas picking up that kill as well. This is snowballing quickly in favor of the red team.
Yeah, 4 for 1 already. They have 1,000 gold lead at 5 minutes, which is actually fairly significant compared to what you normally see. Ruffle now 2-0-1 in that middle lane. already has the Athene's Unholy Grail, the Chalice of Harmony, the component for Athene's Unholy Grail, which means that he's already negating quite a significant amount of damage being dealt by Fizz. Of course, vast majority of his damage, Fizz being an AP assassin.
And at the same time, it does give him a little bit of AP now as well, that he's picked up another Amtome. And really, when a game snowballs out of control this quickly, for the time being, it's only the bottom lane that's going fine for the blue team. Almost even on CS, they're even an assist on Lucian. But right now, the blue team has to try and make something happen, unless they want this game to snowball completely out of their grasp.
Yeah, Shen's doing very well in the top lane right now. He's a level down, but he's putting down very good poke on Director. But Renekton's now hit level 6, and he may be wanting for a fight down with the Dominus.
Down in the bottom lane, the Ignite was down, the barrier was popped by Jinx as well. Now Lucian is in a whole lot of trouble. Zyra still trying to pick up that kill, the barrier was out, and he flashes away, is able to dodge the grasping roots. He's going to stay alive. Meanwhile, we did have Dominance used in the top lane, but both of those contenders both staying alive.
Once again, Gangster Man just keeping his cool, not burning his flash. He is only going to use that in the direst of situations. Bottom lane, Flash was forced off of first Jhin, and he did use the barrier in that engagement as well, so very big advantage coming out in favor of the red team. Jack Seacart went very, very low, did burn both of his summoner spells as well, but he actually stayed in the lane, and he is gaining a very nice CS lead. It's only 5 at the moment, but she has yet to back and has 1.2k gold, so some very nice pickups are potential. I'm going to imagine something like a Vamp Scepter and base boots.
Boom, you were right. Congratulations. You're our new Oracle. I will ask you about all of the LCS results and then bet on them, so I make lots and lots of money. Anyway, we do have top lane already going quite well in favor of the red team. Renekton now with 47 CS to the 30 out of Shen, and he just picked up a Brutalizer, so he'll really be able to bash in heads there, and the little bit of armor that Shen does have won't be helping him quite as much anymore. You did mention, of course, bot lane with those Vamp Scepters pretty even across the board. Lucian has another Doran's Blade, and for the time being, both of the mid laners just pick up their blue buffs and then go back into that mid lane, and we'll... Oh my god! Wow! That was really mean. Fiddlesticks just smited away the blue buff from Fizz, who made his way all the way over there and tried to help. Fizz was already in trouble. This is going to make it even harder for him.
Yeah, and we actually see that Gragas is attempting a roam down from that middle lane. No, he isn't actually. He's just going to lob down his totem ward. Wants to have good vision if Fiddlesticks tries to make a gank.
But Vi is here, the Assault and Battery coming out onto Lulu, and there are the Flame Jumpers. That's going to be an easy kill picked up by Jinx, not even needing that Super Mega Death Rocket.
Yeah, very well done by the red team there. First Jhin doing quite well to put down a decent amount of poke, but he is going to be forced back to turret very quickly. G-Tone goes very, very low, but not good.
We have a gank in the mid lane. Fiddlesticks around with his Crow Storm. That's an easy kill for them, and now Lucian under his tower in a lot of trouble. The Flame Choppers catch onto him. Jinx tanking up the tower, Vi coming around, denting blows, picking up that kill. Actually, it was the Vault Breaker, so that was another kill. Renekton, meanwhile, in the top lane, proxy farming. Now comes Fiddlestick around the corner. There's the Fear, there's the Dark Wind, and the Taunt across as well. Renekton going pretty low. There's the Ignite on him, and he's going to try and flash out of this, using Dominance to stay alive. Very nicely done. But there's a Fizz still on the hunt for him, and he cannot sit in that bush. There's Fizz with the flash. Going under the tower is actually stunned up. The Ignite is ticking. This could be a kill for Renekton. Yes, the last tick of Ignite is going to take that down. Beautiful play there on the escape.
Yeah, very well done right there. Fizz did have Chum the Waters, but decided against using it, so crucial misplay right there, costing him his life. He's now 1-3, and at a massive disadvantage against this Gragas in the middle lane.
No, he was actually out of mana. He couldn't use the Chum the Waters. All he had was enough for a Playful Trickster and his dash. That was all he had, and that's where the blue buff comes in. You know, if Fiddlesticks hadn't taken that, maybe he would have been able to pick up that kill. But as it stands, it is now 7-2 with a more than 2,000 gold advantage in favor of the red team. We can see they're also asserting their bot lane dominance. There is Zyra almost getting caught, and this is Lucian now going very far forward. The exhaust is out, but he's going to be able to walk away from this, but he took a lot of damage in that exchange.
Gragas roaming down towards the bottom lane, but Fiddlesticks is nearby, so we could see gank and counter gank right here. Gragas not going instantly straight in, but Fiddlesticks sat across the wall. Gragas decides against going for the engagement. We actually see Vi coming around on the middle lane rather. Fizz could be in a lot of trouble if Gragas catches him out.
It does look like Vi alone is already enough to chase off Fizz. He's running all the way into the enemy jungle. Is that really where he wants to go? There's Gragas coming over after him as well. Fizz jumps over the wall, might be safe, but he's really far back. Actually, it was his own jungle, not the enemy jungle. So he's going to be safe, able to escape from this one, but he leaves his mid lane alone for a very, very long time. Going to lose even more CS, even more experience, and Gragas will just pull further and further ahead.
Yes, indeed. We do see things returning to some form of a status quo. Poke going down here and there. Syncon gets hit with the Whimsy, but not enough damage going down to warrant an engage.
Oh, he's going pretty low. There's the Ignite, though, and now Lulu doing a nice amount of damage to Culling, being tanked up by Zara. Good guy support. Keeps Jinx alive. That could have been death for her if that hadn't worked, but Vi and Gragas on the backside are trying to get down here. Where are the Stranglethorns? We still haven't seen them used once. There's the Whimsy out onto Vi, but the Fiddlesticks with the Shen ultimate. They pick up the first kill. Can Gragas escape? He's running away, but there's Fizz coming down the river as well. The Shadow Dash lands, and now he's gone pretty low. Nice explosive cast, and then the flash. It's not going to be enough because Fizz is waiting around the corner. And this was a nice series of events for the blue team. Finally, they got 3 kills onto their board. Actually, 2 kills. But they really needed that, and they're going to be able to get the dragon on the backside of that as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a consolation. Timudezu did pick up first turret in the top lane on that outer. He does have a massive CS advantage over this Shen. Tries to slice over the wall, not quite long range enough, but I think his intention to steal away the right is probably going to go unnoticed, or rather uncounted, shall I say.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, of course, we do have the red team pushing in again. Lulu pretty low and very low on mana as well. She's not going to be able to do much. Gets hit by another zap. Is forced to recall this bot. Oh, the Super Mega Death Rocket. What a kill. I never thought that was already enough damage. But Jinx has that pickaxe. She does do a lot of damage. And Lulu has barely any HP. Still with only that Frost Fang. Is it the Frost Fang? Yes. Yes, I got the item name right. Beautiful kill there, though.
Yeah, very well done. Of course, the execution bonus damage from using Super Mega Death Rocket is very, very nice. Timudezu actually going in onto Gangster in the top lane, used the Dominus, but Ruthless Predator did not land on him, so he is forced to fall straight back. Meanwhile, second turret goes down in the bottom lane on that outer. 4 men from the red team currently sat in that bottom lane or in the blue side jungle. Fizz there, but there is a ward, so he might get caught out here.
And the red team just keeps focusing 4 men on that bot lane. But this now could turn bad. There's Chum the Waters already. Oh my god, Vi taking so much damage. The Grasping Roots coming out onto Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks going down to Gragas. But Gragas in the middle of 3 enemies is not going to live much longer. That's 2-1 in favor of the blue team. And the red team thought they had the advantage. But then there were too many people around. And Fizz with a beautiful Chum the Waters starting that off.
Yeah, very good use of the Chum the Waters ultimate by Betsy on the Fizz, and the fight really did go pear-shaped for them. Their bottom lane did not react to the engagement fast enough. They arrived far too late in the fight. The only one of them that had any effect at all was G-Zone, and all he could really do was try and save Gragas, an attempt that failed anyway.
This is not allowed to happen much more often. They've shortened the gold lead by about 300, 400. I mean, their main problem right now is that Shen can absolutely not measure up to this Renekton. He's getting completely demolished up in the top lane. Look at the damage he's taking. This could be another engage, but Renekton doesn't quite have the ultimate. There's the Ignite, and Shen and Renekton still bashing heads. There's another Call the Meek. Shen going pretty low, using his Shadow Dash to get out. There's Betsy now, but he does have a blue and a red buff. The flash coming out with that slice and dice. This is going to be the kill over to Renekton. Now he's bullying out Fizz as well. Is he going to be able to get another kill? No, he's not. Just backing off as Fiddlesticks makes his way up there as well. But that's what happens when a Renekton this early in the game has already got a Black Cleaver and a Kindle Gem.
The fact is, that's a perfect counteraction item to a Shen. Shen very much likes to have protracted engagements in the top lane, where he can allow the bonus health he gains back from using Vorpal Blades to his advantage. Renekton effectively nullifies that by picking up Black Cleaver, because he can dice away a bunch of Shen's armor and basically trade evenly, and then
the spotline
better.
That was a nice... Oh, the flash coming out of Lucian, saving him from the execution of that Super Mega Death Rocket and the cast. Nicely done by him, but his flash forced out. They do that again. Now the entire blue team is collapsing, though. Lulu and Fiddlesticks coming around. The grasping roots land onto Lulu, but here's Fizz now. Nice chum the waters, landing onto Gragas. Gragas getting exploded. That Crow Storm out there as well. Zyra going pretty low. The flash coming out of Jinx. She's trying to get away, but Fizz goes after her. That's a double kill over to Fizz, and another one onto Lucian. The red team completely out of position, and now the blue team is actually really catching up.
Yeah, very, very good engagement for the blue team. Good use of the Crow Storm. Kept Gragas locked down long enough for him to escape. Chum the Waters came in across, basically sacrificing to death. Cappuccino does pick up the mid lane outer turrets as well, so that is yet another small victory. But the blue team bottom lane should be more than able to take out this bottom turret. That said, Vi is being chased by 2 members of the blue team, and Gangsterman can of course join in if she keeps heading in that direction. But she turns around and engages onto Betsy.
Betsy has to be careful here. There is, of course, that terrifying Renekton, and he does decide to finally back off. The best thing about that fight was that another double kill landed onto Fizz. He's now 5-3-1, and despite his awful early game start, he's trying to come into power, but right now he has to fight Gragas. Flashes over the wall, and barely manages to escape that explosive cast. Nicely done by him. As we see Renekton trying once again to aggress onto Shen. Shen walking away, trying to escape. Nice shadow dash into the right direction. As he gets stunned, Fiddlestick's going to keep him safe.
Yep, Gragas' damage just barely enough for Fizz to keep alive.
Fiddlesticks actually face-checked that, and that's going to mean he goes down. Fizz, meanwhile, once again having to run away from Gragas. That was now another kill in the top lane, and Gragas and Renekton are not done chasing. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we do have an almost engagement going on. Not quite here now, although with one person recalling, Gragas and Renekton instantly decide to dive that tower. Gragas going to pick up another kill for himself. The Ignite not going to take him down. That was really... Fizz left Shen alone without any form of communicating whatsoever that they had to back off.
Yeah, left Shen basically to his own devices in a 2v1 against a very, very fed Renekton. You can never do that. Communication is key at this level.
Bottom lane, meanwhile, comes in for another gank. Lulu going very aggressive, but this is bad. There are 3 members of the red team. The exhaust is already out onto Lucian. There's the wild growth. The Stranglethorns come out as well. Lulu picks up the kill onto Zyra. Now Lucian gonna go down to the Super Mega Death Rocket. Where is Lulu going to go? Is she gonna be able to escape? It's currently a 1-for-1 trade. It does look like she's gonna be able to stay safe for the time being. Fizz coming around. Vine not quite done yet. Gets the denting blows in onto Lulu. It's not quite going to be enough, and Fizz actually picks up another kill. Sorry.
Fizz now unstoppable, doing very, very well for himself. Dragon just about to respawn as well. He's currently 6 and 3. The Fizz has slightly more CS than Gragas as well, so he is making nice advantages. Small engagement in the top lane. We already know that Timu's basically going to win this trade. He has a completed Spirit Visage now as well, so Shen's damage is basically null.
Yeah, especially since that Sunfire Cape also does magic damage, so Renekton just does not care whatsoever that he's going up against Shen. Has now got a 65 CS advantage, and it's really where a lot of this power in this game comes from. It's 4-0-1 Renekton, so he's got about a quarter of their team's kills, and he's got that massive CS lead, by far the most in the entire game. Next is Jinx with 142. So these 2 guys really farming very well. And Jinx, of course, 3-1-1. Also one of the core components of her team. If the blue team can shut down Jinx, and Renekton will get a little bit weaker towards the late game as other people get fed as well and get tankier, this is going to be very interesting. And once Fizz has that Zanya's Hourglass, of course, he will be able to survive quite a lot longer as well. Same thing goes for Fiddlesticks, but the red team here trying to pick up an uncontested dragon, and it does look like they'll be able to. Nicely done. Lucian over the wall. I don't think that's a good idea, sticking around. There's Vi with a nice flash vault breaker, the explosive cast coming out as well. Fiddlestick's gonna go down. They're not quite able to pick up Lucian, but he's so low he's not gonna be able to be on defensive duty for a while, and the blue team has a free push down mid, or they actually make the call for Baron.
It's a very good call because, of course, the jungler from our blue team is dead. They're going to steal the blue buff away. Gangsterman, very little he can do about it. There goes the steal. And they're going to instantly cycle towards this Baron. They already know that they have a massive advantage in team fights. Renekton's presence cannot be understated. Gragas' AoE damage and Vi's lockups. There's absolutely nothing blue team can do about this. And this is going to be the first Baron of the game. Just shy of 20 minutes, picked up by our blue team, and increasing their lead to just over 4,000 again.
That was a very nice move, beautiful rotation. They knew exactly what they had to do with a flash. And the Stranglethorn still forced out of Zyra. She managed to dodge that Fizz ultimate, the Chum the Waters though, and now Gragas wants to go aggressive again, but he's basically 1v4 at this point, 2v4, Zyra's there. But I wouldn't recommend taking that engagement for now. The red team has to back off. They've got all these advantages. Now they have to see what can we do with these. They're currently leading with 1 tower. They have a 4,000 gold advantage. They have a 3 kill advantage. Now, what can they do with this? Where will they push next?
I imagine they'll probably just push down mid. All of the outer turrets are gone. And so mid lane is where they have the... Or rather, it would be the best idea to push mid lane, because it gives so much freedom of roaming throughout the enemy jungle. It just gives the biggest benefit. The thing is, if they go full siege and try and get down the middle lane, then the blue team does have very, very good wave clear. I mean, Playful Trickster from Fizz, great AoE damage. Lucian does great damage against large groups of enemies. Ardent Burst and Piercing Light, very good for that. But it really does depend on whether they can get a good engage. If Cappuccino can go with the Assault and Battery onto the Lucian, then it's already going to be a massive problem for the blue team, because the rest of the team can't just follow up.
Of course, the blue team also has decent team fighting tools. They have that Crowstorm, they have the Chum the Waters, but Fizz getting himself caught out here in the middle of 4 enemies. Betsy, what are you doing? The Shen ultimate also coming in, and he may be able to get away with that flash. Yes, it does look like he escapes, but that's the Shen ultimate down for a long time now, and the flash out of Fizz, and Gragas actually goes over the wall. He might still be able to pick up that skill. Assault and Battery, the Zhonya's comes out, but is Fizz going to be able to survive this? He dashes away. Is he going to? No, he's not. Stupid question. Gragas picks up that kill. Nicely done. Meanwhile, on the top lane, well, Growth coming out onto Fiddlesticks. They're trying to survive against that Renekton. Flash forced out of Lucian. He's still going to go down, though. Is he still going to be able to pick up the kill? The explosive cast interrupted the culling, and Vi is going to take him out. Gragas escaping with ever so little health, and now the red team, with a lot of advantages on their side, are going to push down on the bottom tower, the mid tower, and the top tower all at the same time.
Split pushing was a factor that I didn't actually call in, and of course, splitting up power, especially when someone like Renekton is so safe at this point. He's so very tanky. We actually see a 2-man engage onto Hanara in the top lane on that Lulu. She is more than likely to fall. Gangsterman can do very little about it. Down she goes. There you see. We did actually see Fiddlesticks pick up a kill on Jinx in the bottom lane. He and Fizz did go down for that, but I think Zyra is going to be able to escape with her life. Yep.
For the time being, anyway. Fizz is still gonna try and catch onto her. He's still chasing, and he can cut off her way. There's a Chum the Waters that actually lands, so that's gonna be Zyra going down. Nicely done. So at least they get 2 kills in return, but they have to be careful with this top tower still being sieged up by 3 members of the red team for now. They're backing off because they know they lost their bottom lane combo. And that was really just Fiddlesticks and Fizz doing nice work down in there in the bottom lane, completely thwarting any further aggression from the red team.
Yeah, very well done by them. They do, and still, that does still mean that there is a 4-kill disadvantage for the blue team at this point, and the gold lead has stacked up very nicely for our red team. They now have a 6,000 gold advantage, and it's just over 2 minutes, or just under 2 minutes, until the dragon respawns for the 3rd time in the game. And if the red team can pick that up again, then God knows what they're going to be able to do in team fights.
And right now, we can see everyone on the blue team getting scarier and scarier. Jinx has her first 2 items completed now. She's got that Phantom Dancer on top of the Bloodthirst, and she's already got that pickaxe as well. Gragas just picked up his Rabadon's Death Cap. Renekton just picked up a Tiamat. He'll do even more damage, and he's going in onto Lucian. Is he going to be able to pick up this kill? He's not taking any damage whatsoever. Lucian may as well be tickling him with a feather. I don't know. The Super Mega Death Rocket almost hits, but that's going to be the kill over to Renekton. Nicely done. Jinx is going to shove in that minion wave from the top lane, while Renekton and Vi already sit here and proxy the enemy's waves. And this is the red team once again trying to push their advantages. Zyra with a needlessly large rod as well down in the bottom lane, also pushing that wave back. So what can the blue team do to defend this? It's really hard.
Well, they need to be grouping up right now, because Betsy's currently sat near to the bottom lane. He's going to go and try and fight this Zyra. It's just a terrible call. 4 members of the red team in this top lane, and the rest of the teammates are falling back. Gangsterman gets caught out again. He is more than likely to fall. He's taken quite low. There goes the Assault and Battery.
The Assault and Battery was there. The flash forced out of Shen. He does manage to get away. That was just not a good position. The second time he stayed under a tower, that was almost lost, and now the red team working on the inhibitor tower. There's Fiddlesticks, the Crowstorm coming out, Jinx already going down. Vi is also very, very low, out of mana, the culling coming out, picking up Gragas. Renekton on the retreat as well. There's a drain out of Fiddlesticks. That's going to be a double kill onto Lucian. And that was the nice Crow Storm out of Fiddlesticks. Beautifully done. And then the chase afterwards. They managed to pick up 3 members of the red team. But Baron is still 1.5 minutes away. They're not even really able to pick up a huge advantage from this.
The only thing they can really do is push out the top lane. They need to get more turrets down, because if they can go for single target picks, then they do have a good composition for that. Fizz is great at bursting down a single low health target. Someone like Jinx or Gragas would suffer very much against the Fizz. If he's comboed with someone like the Fiddlesticks, who has great crowd control as well, of course, from the Terrify, slightly nerfed, it now only does a 2.25 second fear, down from 3 seconds as it used to be, but it's still very, very nasty. And of course, also the silence coming out from Dark Wind.
The silence is really one of the major pains when playing against Fiddlesticks, and that fear lasts so long, at least a little bit nerfed as you mentioned, but the blue team does manage to pick up the tower in the top lane and the dragon down here in the bottom half as well, so they're working to get the gold back in their favor. You mentioned just now the gold lead was at 6,000, now it's at 3, and if the blue team manages to keep this up, manages to stall out a little bit longer, get more items on themselves, they've got a Zanya's Hourglass not only on Fizz but also on Fiddlesticks now. The Trinity Force finally completed onto Lucian, so he does more damage now as well. The blue team is coming into power, and the red team has to finish the game soon, or the advantage they had will just not matter anymore. But Baron is up in 15 seconds. That will probably be the next big team fight that we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. We actually see very little attention being placed in that direction just yet. We see it respawning just now. There we go. We see that it is live. And any wards that were in that area are now gone pretty much. We've got 1 ward in the top lane tri-bush for the red team. We've got 1 ward in the banana bush for the blue team. We do see Lulu come in and place another ward, and it does look like they're actually going to go around and try and catch out Renekton.
Fizz completely caught out there by 2 members of the red team. The Stranglethorns came out as well, and he's going to go down over to Jinx. This is 3 members of the red team in the bottom lane though. Doesn't look like they're going to be doing anything. Renekton forced to flash away, but Vi left alone in the mid lane, and right now with Fizz down, you know, Fizz drew 3 members of the red team down to the bottom lane. That would have been the call for the blue team to go to Baron, but instead they tried to take out Renekton. They lose their middle inner tower, and Jinx and Zyra are still pushing the bottom lane, and that really was nicely done. Zyra had that Zanya's Hourglass as well.
Yeah, very well played by the red team. As you say, it should have been a call for Baron when Fizz drew most members of their team down to that bottom lane to deal with him. And it does look like we might see an engagement. Cappuccino and Jaxie are there. Ooh, and now actually flashes to escape the grasping roots. Engagement's still possible though. They have no ward coverage in that area.
This is a really tense situation. The blue team has to be careful. Renekton back again in that top lane. He just keeps returning there. And with the power he has, he's got that Ravenous Hydra completed as well. Trying to push that in. The red team, however, pushing down the mid lane. Does look like Vi wants to recall. Baron is on the table. I'm not sure if that right now is the best of ideas. Of course, she could probably finish up that Randuin Zoman. Vi really has a lot of components and no completed item. Maybe she would have a nice power spike if she did manage to complete one. But as it stands, one thing I like is the blue team having 2 sweepers. The red team has no vision control whatsoever.
It's definitely a very good call having 2. One on the jungler, one on the support. It's very common we see that in the LCS a lot. We usually see the jungler start with the sweeper and the support start Doran Shield and the warding totem, and then proceed to buy the sweeper when they pick up their sidestone.
It makes sense in the way that you will have then all the wards you need, and on top of that, you can of course also it's clear out enemy vision. But what I would like to see is for the red team to at least upgrade their warding totems into vision totems, so that they get pink wards out of it, so they can at least clear the area. And I mean, you can really utilize that very, very well, and if you place them right, they will also live for quite a while. As it stands, we have Vi with a completed Banshee's Veil now, and the red team with a 5-man push down the mid lane. They're trying to catch on to someone, trying to force their current advantage now.
It looks like they were going to try and go around onto Lucian, but the game actually goes down onto Fiddlesticks instead.
There was the Assault and Battery coming in onto Fiddlesticks, the Explosive Cast coming out. 2 members of the blue team very, very low, but the Super Mega Death Rocket did miss. Vi not able to catch on to anyone either. Fizz going very low under his own tower, but able to retreat. Now Lucian in the bottom lane also trying to get away. Nice barrier, and Gragas a little bit caught in the enemy base, has to flash over the wall. And this right now is the blue team nicely holding on, but the mid inner and the mid inhibitor tower will go down. The Chum the Waters came out onto Jinx. The red team definitely retreating after getting that tower down. They had to do everything they could just to manage that much.
It was a good defense, and no one actually died in that fight, so very well played by Lulu and Lucian specifically. They did a very good job surviving that engagement. We actually see members of the red team backing out at this point. Blue team look like they want to go straight down for the Baron, and actually we see the taunt land on Elthizar.
Zyra is in a lot of trouble here. She stood on top of that ward, and it does look like she's going to be taken out after that Zhonya's Hourglass ends. There's Fizz picking up that kill. And right now, with a huge wave in the bottom lane and a decent wave in top, the blue team may be trying to push this. They have to be very careful because Gragas is huge at Baron stealing, as we all know, and Renekton goes right into the pit. The stun is already out onto Lucian. Renekton going very, very low, though, in the pit. He's currently tanking Baron up as well. That's going to be the first kill going over. But Fizz went over the wall, is getting taken out by Jinx. Now, what do they do with this? The flash taunt onto Jinx lands. That's the Baron, actually, for the blue team. Vi was a little bit late, wasn't quite able to steal that away, didn't even get to use her smite, and that's Lucian now on chasing duty, picks up Jinx as well. That is a 4-for-1 exchange on top of the Baron, and that huge wave is still knocking on the bottom lane door.
That was an amazingly good fight for the blue team. Fizz died early on, so Chum the Waters wasn't available, but there was no need for it. They had so much control over the area, and when Renekton went down trying to go in to steal the Baron, there was just nothing that could be done.
Fiddlesticks using his Zhonya's Hourglass behind the tower there. He tried to get the kill onto Gragas. Didn't quite work out, but they do grab the inner middle tower. Now it is almost even since the inhibitor did not go down in the bottom lane. We see the ward battles, and the Stranglethorns actually come out. The great wild growth out onto Fiddlesticks as well, keeping him alive. That was nice reaction time from Lulu, and Zyra really trying to do work. Oh, the Super Mega Death Rocket, is it going to be? No, it's intercepted by Lulu, so not able to pick up that kill, and the blue team wanting to pick up Dragon off of the back of all of that action.
It's a very good call. This will actually pretty much level out the gold, of course. 260 gold per person off the Dragon at this point, and it does pretty much level the playing field. We see it's less than 1,000 gold between these two teams, and when the red team had such a huge advantage earlier in the game, that is actually very, very well played by the blue team.
Yeah, they've certainly managed to come back a little bit in this one. I'd love to see Lucian start picking up defensive items here. He's gotten the Trinity Force Bloodthirster and Analyst Whisper on top of another BF sword. He needs to start thinking about defense as well, because he will get bursted quite heavily by that Stranglethorns plus Jinx plus Gragas plus Vi damage. There's just so much potential on the red team to eliminate targets from the blue team that he has to be a little bit careful, and Jinx picked up that Banshee's Veil. She's staying careful. Right now though, we have Renekton split pushing the top lane while the rest of the red team is on defensive duty in mid. Is he going to be able to get out of there? He's trying to recall. Shen is coming for him. He cancelled the recall, and now the red team actually splits up in all directions. Lulu and Fiddlesticks going up there to help the top lane. Shen gonna face check into Renekton. Renekton wants the fight. He goes in, slice and dice already used. That means he doesn't have any escapes. There was the flash out of him as well. The slow from the Glitter Lance comes out. Here's Fiddlesticks now in the party. Randuin's Omen is used, and that's Renekton probably going down for this one. Another slice and dice used. There's the rest of the red team coming in though, and the blue team has to run away from this. They're still here. Why are they sticking around so long? Nice dodge off the explosive cast. Everyone staying alive for the time being, but now Vi coming around the backside. Lulu getting completely caught by the grasping roots. She's probably dead. Nice kill onto Gragas though. Fizz meanwhile in the bottom lane split pushing. What is he doing? There's the first kill. The Crowstorm coming out. That's going to be a kill as well. Meanwhile, Lucian goes down to Vi. Vi getting that one for herself. There's the Shen ultimate onto Fiddlesticks. They're not able to do anything though, as Jinx sits untouched, completely demolishing everyone on the enemy team. Shen the only one to survive that now. He has to delay the recalls from these two guys. He does manage, all three staying there. Fizz still on the bottom inhibitor tower. He does manage to get it. Will he be able to get the inhibitor as well? Shen doing a beautiful job of delaying everyone on the red team. They're still around, and it's still 18 seconds until the next respawn timer.
Yeah, very well done. No member of the red team is backing out, so this is going to be an uncontested inhibitor picked up by Fizz. Fight definitely lost by the blue team, but an inhibitor is more than worth it. And we see Shen actually trying to 1v1 this Vi. Meanwhile, we do also see Renekton and Jinx coming into the middle lane. They are determined to trade inhibitors. That's the best they can definitely do right now. Shed actually wins the fight against Cappuccino on the bye. So he has actually become very, very strong right now. Has got the Random Zone, has got the Sunfire Cape components for the Spirit Visage as well, and he's just so tanky that Vi couldn't do enough damage to him.
Fizz here in a lot of trouble there. The Chum the Waters came out onto Renekton, and that Zhonya's kept him alive. He's jumping in onto Jinx, but there's Gragas around the corner as well. Nice dodge off the explosive cast with that flash, but Jinx is going to take him down. Now is excited. Lucian has to stay safe. There's a wild growth onto him. He's going to be able to survive, pick up a kill onto Jinx instead. Now Gragas has to be careful. He's throwing out a couple more barrels, but the blue team rushing down the mid lane. That's the best call they could make, because the inhibitors of the red team are, of course, in the middle lane, and they'll clear those out on the way. Another cask rolling in, taking Lulu quite low, so the blue team has to be careful. Baron is not going to be on the table for a little bit, but right now the gold lead for the first time in ages, swinging back in favor of the blue team. Shen can tank up this middle inhibitor tower, and the blue team doing a lot of damage to that. Gragas is in the base trying to defend this. Zyra around the corner as well. The tower goes down. Are they going to be able to get onto the inhibitor as well? 2 inhibitors down, that would be huge. The Crowstorm coming in. Strangle Thorns is there as well, though. They try to go onto Zyra. Inhibitor goes down. Zyra still alive. That Zhonya's Hourglass kept her safe. There's Shadow Dash out of Shen. He's not really able to do anything, though. Nice fear onto Vi after she flashed. Wasn't able to get onto anyone. Gragas now chasing down Lulu, but there's Assault and Battery onto Fiddlesticks. Is he going to be able to survive? He's draining. There's Zyra around the corner. The Super Mega Death Rocket misses. Fiddlesticks going to go down to Vi, but the rest of the blue team escaping, and they did take down another inhibitor.
Yeah, good team play now by the blue team. They group up, they kill a couple of separate people. The red team are still trying to go for a slightly more split push oriented style, and it does mean that picks are quite a lot easier for the blue team. Fizz does have a hell of a lot of damage. Lucian, hell of a lot of damage. He's going for an Infinity Edge now. He is completely eschewing any defensive items right here. And blue team means that they're going for a very, very high team fight presence, and they have to basically put to preeminence defending Lucian.
Fizz got completely out of position, but a beautiful Zhonya's Hourglass dodged everything from the red team, and now they can turn around the aggression. The culling over the wall takes Vi very low, but Lucian here might be in a lot of trouble. There's a Shen ultimate coming out, though, and he did take the first kill down. Gragas now in a lot of trouble, out of position, gets taken out as well. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Lulu and Fizz trying to take out Renekton. He has nowhere to go, just standing around there. He's going to go down, and that was another 3-for-0 exchange. The blue team now is able to push down the mid lane yet again. Maybe they'll be able to take down Nexus Stars. Nope, there's a surrender vote. Beautifully done, and that last fight was really all decided by that Zhonya's Hourglass out of Fizz.
That was great play by the Lucian as well. He saw a lot of damage go down onto Vi, fired out the culling, killed Vi, and then a great use of Stand United by the Shen also allowed for a free pickup onto the Gragas as well. They went straight down towards the middle lane. Renekton knew that he was pretty much dead, stood still, and died. And it was going to be pushed out for the win, so red team decided to shorten their losses and end the game right there.
But what an incredible game by the blue team, coming back from that early huge disadvantage that they did have. Now the gold lead, 2,000 gold in their favor at the very, very end of the game, finally. And they pulled even in towers. They're 3 kills ahead. Impressive performance, and that's really why you do not give up, no matter how grim it looks. Fizz was 0-3. Right now he's 8-7-5. He did come back for his team. He gained CS, he gained kills, and then split pushed that bottom lane while his team lost the fight. But dilly-dallying around from the red team cost them, and in the end, the blue team able to pick up the win here.
Yeah, MVP definitely goes to Lucian, though. 10, 5, and 8 with very, very respectable CS. Not the highest in the game by far. There was actually a 12 CS difference, so not that amazing in terms of difference. Fizz, highest CS in the game. Actually,
no, Renekton.
Renekton on 318. I need to pay more attention to numbers.
He's got almost double the CS of Shen at the end of the game. Almost.
I'm not going to say I'm surprised by that, but despite him taking such a beating in the early laning phase, Shen did really, really well for himself. 3-3 and 12. That's a great supporting scoreline. And as a Shen, that's what you do in high-level games. You can't carry games as Shen. You allow other people to carry games for you.
Indeed, and you just protect them. Anyway, that was this game. I hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll come back as well. If you did enjoy, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel. There will be more League of Legends casts coming up soon, and I'll put my Twitter link in the description as well as Elthizar's, so you can follow both of us for beautiful always updates on what we're doing in our lives. Maybe, maybe not. And we'll be back soon. Just wait for it.